This is a BRUNI variety. You see the bud, it's a small bud. I think this one about to fall. Okay, so it's a little yellow, so I think it's gonna fall, so I'm gonna remove that. And this one, the one that already flowered, I think yesterday or the day before. And this one gonna open up pretty soon, maybe tonight or tomorrow morning. And this one right now, it's so pretty. You see the flower? Oh my god, look at like a very deep purplish pink. And you see the stigma? It's all the way to the front and the pollen all the way to the bottom. And this pollen is very little bit, as you can see. You dab on it, you don't see that much of the pollen. And usually to have fruit on the BRUNI, you have to cross-pollinate it. So you have to get a different variety to pollinate this flower. How to pollinate it? So you need to get a flower from another variety, and this one is a pollen. And you're gonna get pollen of this, and you're gonna put on the stigma to create the fruit. But this one is not a self-pollinated, or it's not a self-fertile, so you cannot use its own pollen. You have to use a different pollen. This one will open pretty soon. This one already opened. I didn't pollinate it because I was so busy at work, so I don't think I'm gonna set fruit. So I'm gonna do the pollination on this one. And there's a lot more buds coming up.
Yeah, because I put the paper on so all the pollens would drop back on the paper, because I need to see when you pollinate, this is what you want to get on the all these what do you call it, filaments or whatever you call it, is
Stigma, filament.
yeah, the stigma, right, is like all here, not the inside, where it's typically misunderstood. I would tell you, because when I first started doing this and people would tell me the same things, oh, you gotta put some pollinator. Think about it, this one's actually pretty short, but this tube is quite long, right? Like usually, you know, like if you have a like sugar dragon, the thing is like 15-inch long. Think about how do you think like the pollen inside this tube can actually travels all the way to the plant? No, because this is not like human like sperm where it's actually
Moving.
correct. Right? Get it on the under, like as long as you get it over this, right, as much as you can. That's what the whole goal is for pollination. But what happened is you get a bee that is gonna like sit on top of this and eat up the whole thing. So get it underneath also, because if you don't cover it, that's what happened to me. Like my first early on the flowers, I didn't bother to cover. Oh my god, I woke up the next morning, everything was empty. The bees were all over it. And so now, and so I initially, a lot of my early on the first wave of flowers, several of them did not set correctly because I didn't cover them. The bees stole all my pollens. So now I cover everything. You know, when I harvest pollens, I just bend all this backward and just tap it, because I mean, like I've seen people treat it like so gingerly, like, oh, I'm gonna hurt the flower. No, you can't hurt the flower. It's basically just, this is the stigma. Looks good, but you can't hurt it by bending all these petals down or whatever, right? So, okay, we use pretty much all of it, because the more you have, the better it will be. Hopefully no bees will come by tomorrow. Hungry bee.